Today it is the 5th round of the Gauntlet. All series from here on will determine world's seeding and NA earnings. Let me first say thank you to our sponsors Zydax and Intel. Please visit the links below, as they enabled us to run this tournament. Chronic worked hard to secure 3rd in the league and was the only player able to beat Leth. If he wins today he has another opportunity to beat Leth and reach the final. Lion has won 2 rounds of the Gauntlet already and is looking to be on good form. He did lose 3-0 to Chronic at the beginning of the league, but with his recently improved play he can make a better challenge. Today's loser will exit the mine with another $150. He will be seen next at the world's mine. The planet Earth mine. The global mine. One of those. Will we finally see a result that is not a 4-1 win?
Can the run continue? Can Lionblaze do what Flakes did last year and win 3 consecutive Gauntlet games? He's into the big leagues now. Chronic on a hot streak. One of the most impressive players that we've seen all year. Now this is going to be Lionblaze's real test. Already an impressive save on a bump attempt from Chronic. Lionblaze with a fast shot could take the lead here, but the shot's slow. Chronic pops it well wide of the net. Still, Lionblaze in a solid spot. Better hit on the ball this time. Chronic more prepared. Still keeps it out. Good saves. To be expected in a matchup like this, especially from Chronic. He probably has, I'd say, the best goalkeeping in the league. Besides maybe First Killer. Even then, that's a very close matchup on a good day. Perhaps only Kronovi has the edge when it comes to double saves. Chronic and Lionblaze, pretty good with those two. Lionblaze opening the scoring with a demo goal. If he can get off to a good start here, you never know. Maybe this streak is possible. Maybe he can get the win against Chronic, which he's been unable to do in all their previous meetings, if I'm not mistaken. Some have been close, but Chronic usually comes out on top. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Lionblaze might have a Game 5 win against Chronic. But if I'm not mistaken, their most recent matchup did go in Chronic's favor. Lionblaze looking for revenge. And he's off to a good start here, shooting much better than the first shot we saw earlier on, which was this very slow one. Chronic not happy with how kickoffs are going, decides to fake one, and Lionblaze not falling for it. Shoots high on purpose, and there's the rebound, saved by Chronic. Lionblaze misses the boost steal, but he's still going to stick around for this. And Chronic actually passes the ball to him in an attempt to clear it. Lionblaze walks away with a boost. Great distance by Chronic on the clear. But still Lionblaze under control. He's not going to be disappointed with this outcome at all. Chronic turning around in plain sight, but making contact on the ball nonetheless. Lionblaze charging up a big shot. Should have been bigger. Chronic hanging on now. Even though Lionblaze has had more opportunities than him, Chronic's, at least until now, not had too much difficulty with most of these saves. For a player like him, been well within his skill level. But look at this, Lionblaze with the bumps. Oh, he just ran out of boost at the worst time though. And he'll be thinking it should have been 3-1, but instead it's 2-all. He says whoops, apparently not too bothered by the whole situation. But it could have been, perhaps should have been, 3-1 here. That could be a very impactful 2-goal miss from Lionblaze. And is it going to get worse? Chronic now into offense. He's not seen too much of the blue end of the field so far this match, but he's seeing a good bit of it here. And he's got a nice little orange explosion to go with it. 3-2 now in favor of Chronic. That miss from Lionblaze certainly haunting him at this point. Bumps from Lionblaze have been on point. Never too shy looking for these, whether it's a demo or just a hard hit on the opponent. Lionblaze happy to deliver. He's going to try and deliver an equalizer here. Chronic puts it into the bar. might have been making contact with the bar anyway. Chronic not going to take any risks from that distance. Slow play from Lion Blaze. Suddenly accelerates into a huge flick on target. And I think Chronic might have put this one in himself. Was it going in before Chronic's touch? Perhaps, but perhaps not. It was very close. Either way, a very good shot by Lion Blaze, and certainly one that Chronic would have struggled to clear, regardless of which way he hit it. The kickoffs for Chronic are going pretty well right now, and that's a good way to quickly forget about any potential own goals that may have recently occurred. Might be getting another one here. Chronic saving plenty boost on the kickoff. Oh, he's just hit the post though. And he gets the worst possible bounce, because that's just gone straight towards Lion Blaze, who takes his time to control it in the back corner, and then just runs straight down the middle into a challenge. Both players misplaying in that exchange. But Lion Blaze is the one who's profited most, because Chronic, I think, should have been scoring. And now Lion Blaze is scoring. We're all tied up. So certainly a nervous game one, both players missing pretty big opportunities. We're all tied up for the time being. Lion Blaze avoids conceding immediately on the kickoff. Chronic keeps the ball high in the back corner. Almost impossible for Lion Blaze to score from that position without at first putting the ball past Chronic. He's got to get the Chronic out of the way here, and he does get him out of the way by putting it off the crossbar a couple times. Good patience by Lion Blaze. Never a need to rush in this kind of position, because he's got all the boosts, and Chronic needs to make every touch count if he's forced back onto the goal line like that. Any weak clear is a goal. Chronic slaps Lion Blaze into the net and gets another tie game. 5-5. Nice mix up here by Chronic. You don't expect the pot bump, especially when somebody's coming at you with 12 boosts to their name, as he was surely from a fresh kickoff. Chronic confident with the bump anyway. Lion Blaze sneaks in and applies one of his own. He's eager to keep the ball in the back corner as well. He's tagged Chronic so as to keep him there. Well, the ball didn't follow. Final minute already in game one. Not a high scoring nor a low scoring game so far. Just a scoring game for both players. It feels like the next goal could be the last goal as we enter into an extended period of midfield play. Lion Blaze has had the lion's share of the possession. Chronic break checks him, watches him drive by with an attempted bump, but Lion Blaze still staying with the ball, not overcommitting for any of these aggressive plays off of it. Chronic eventually gets a chance to take control in his back corner. He's still contested though, and that's forced him to concede possession, but not for too long. Now he comes down the middle on the counter-attack. Lion Blaze takes him out of the equation and watches the ball hit the floor. 5-5 overtime in game one. Still a lot of prize money on the line here for the playoffs. Still seeding to play for Worlds, and Chronic is the one who takes game one. Huge kickoff win for him. He just stuck himself to the ball, and Lion Blaze had no chance. He's already trailing against one of his biggest rivals.
Chronic shows us that Lion is not quite on good enough form to take a game yet, and is up 1-0. He still needs 3 more for a series win. It's up to Lion to show us that he has not yet reached his ceiling, and can still make progress.
Chronic in the Dominus. Had to do a lot of defending early on in game one, but luckily for him, Lion Blaze hasn't brought his shooting boots today, and Chronic might have just found his. That's a great shot from the halfway line. Plenty power and accuracy to boot. Already reminding Lion Blaze to take better care of his goal. Can't go for boost in a position like that against a player like Chronic. Now the flick as well. He's got the power, he's got the accuracy, and he's got the finesse. He's got the 2-goal lead. Chronic has everything so far in game 2. And of course in the series after that overtime win, Lion Blaze keeping it close and will feel like he should have won game 1. Now he's got to forget about that and just get right into game number 2. Oh, hang on a second. Chronic almost lobbing a flip reset shot in. I don't know how he managed that. The Lion Blaze yet to find his footing here in a tough matchup. Nice save off his own near post. Chronic also missing the target. Lion Blaze, as usual, trying to sneak in a demo after a 50-50. Both players in and out of the crossbar, but Chronic is the more effective aligned. And he's up by 3 now. It's a chase from one end of the field to the other. The Chronic scoops the ball over Lion Blaze with a side flip. Now Lion Blaze has a lot of work to do. You can't let Chronic build up a lead like this and expect to come back without popping off. We've seen it happen. We've seen players really fire goals past Chronic if they're willing to take incredible risks to do so. Now Lion Blaze and risk-taking, not too often associated. And I do wonder why sometimes, because his mechanics certainly are capable of pulling out some incredible shots. His playstyle just doesn't allow it. He just goes for the solid approach every time, and it hasn't worked so far in this match. But if nothing else, it did get him to this match, and that might be the more important factor at the end of the day. In the playoffs up until now, Lion Blaze has been the outstanding player. Every match going 4-1 in favor of the eventual victor. Lion Blaze the only underdog in terms of seeding to come away with a series win. Chronic not wanting to be the second player to fall victim to a player ranked lower than them. Looking better already for Chronic in game 2. Game 1 looked like he was hanging on at times, just barely escaping several scares. Game 2, the control is certainly there for Chronic. He's had more time on the ball. He's had more boost to play with. He's definitely not had to rely as heavily on a dominating kickoff to get the job done for him. Brilliant boost management again. Just like other players in the league, failed flip reset plays. They're not coming out to play in the playoffs. The shot that was getting fired in from all angles in every single match earlier on in the league, seemingly harder to execute under the increased pressure. Chronic still dominating kickoffs though. It's a bit of a throwback for Lion Blaze to earlier in the tournament, but he's only got himself to blame. He's way too low on that ball. He has to get the front end of his car up and into it. That's a lot better. You can see he was really trying to lift the front end of his car into the ball there as both players dodged into it. He knows he can't get down low or else Chronic will just turn him into a ramp and dunk over the top of him. Chronic just saving this one. Into his own post and now into position for the counter-attack down the middle. Doesn't go all in for it. Lion Blaze concedes possession again. Chronic with a reset off the ceiling. He's already jumped though, so there will not be an infinite dodge timer. Chronic looking for the light touch as the ball flies over his head. Ends up missing it, but Lion Blaze had to back off in case the touch came through. 2 minutes and 12 left. Lion Blaze makes a move. Chronic doesn't see it coming. We're back within a 2-goal game. Looks like Chronic was expecting Lion Blaze to make a dash for the mid line, but I don't know if he's aware. The Lion Blaze is playing a much more aggressive offense than he did earlier in the league. Whereas before, you wouldn't be surprised to see Lion Blaze dribbling the ball all the way back into his own half before starting his next attacking play. Now, he realizes the usefulness of turning early before his opponent has time to restock on boost. Chronic backwards in goal. Lion Blaze reads it. Still an unreal save by Chronic. Lion Blaze has to be frustrated here because he's read Chronic's kickoff. He's seemingly reacted accordingly, and Chronic still gets a save. Not just one, but multiple, and he's got the back corner boost as well. Lion Blaze has no way through. Chronic has everything working well for him at the moment. When you defend as well as he does, you really do force your opponent to dig deeper into their offensive repertoire. See what they can find lurking at the bottom. Or in most players' cases, lurking at the top near the ceiling, where Chronic's headed. Minute and 18 left. Air dribble. Massive angle change coming to Lion Blaze goal. Lion Blaze smartly slowing down as he reverses out of position here. Chronic was trying to accelerate backwards, and Lion Blaze just parked his car momentarily in front of him to slow him down and then made his move for the ball. That may have been the difference between giving Chronic an easy save and preventing him from getting there. Lion Blaze trying to get back within 1 goal. Chronic pops it high. He's going to have enough boost for the rebound. You know he always seems to have 12, no matter what position you put him in. Lion Blaze straight down the middle again. Best flick of the game from him so far. It's on the line and Chronic saves it just after the rebound. You thought Lion Blaze was going to get there. Chronic had the faster recovery. And now he's still got the 2-goal lead with just 40 seconds left. Unbelievable defense so far. Certainly the best that we've seen out of any player in the playoffs. Lion Blaze is going to have to do better. And even with an incredibly fast flick, he wasn't able to find a way through. Has to be more deceptive. Because clearly, mechanics alone are not going to get the job done. Another flick by Lion Blaze and another save, of course, by Chronic. He needs to score now or it's going to be all over. Lion Blaze fakes it once, tries to go low, and Chronic just refuses to concede. He's 2-0 up in the series, and in Game 2, he didn't even need overtime.
Thank you Zydax and Intel for sponsoring the NA Salt Mine. Get a custom PC with Zydax at an affordable price. And get a 5% discount using the offer code JOHNNYBOY. 2 games down now, will Lion be able to respond?
Game 3, still a 4-1 win on the cards. But if it's going to happen, Lion Blaze has to get 1, and that's a good way to start. Chronic getting sent a message here at 102 kilometers per hour. Lion Blaze just blasts one into the open net 4 seconds into the game. Chronic calling it that he's going to lose every kickoff here. They did have a little conversation between this game and the last one about Chronic's current kickoff success. Chronic seems to be just as surprised as Lion Blaze is with just how well his kickoff is doing. His theory is he guesses he must be a Dominus main now, as he's doing a lot better than he was in the Octane. Chronic avoids an own goal to send the ball back into his own half. Also makes sure to run away from the demo as well. Lion Blaze just looking for any easy challenges he can take. And if they're not available, he's happy to back off. Fake challenges and shadow against Chronic's offense, which although has been impressive so far, hasn't been the most difficult to read. Chronic, up until now, has been mostly scoring after one-sided kickoffs and on the counter-attack. And whenever Lion Blaze is in position, he's had a pretty good success rate of saving Chronic's offense. He's had a pretty low success rate though, getting past Chronic's defense, and now he's starting to change the game plan. That is a brilliant switch up by Lion Blaze. Show a couple of laser beam flicks and then let the ball bounce in slowly. Love the 180 spin there by Lion Blaze just to convince Chronic that the flick is coming. Lion Blaze wanted to keep this playoff running on script. Wants to keep the 4-1s coming, it would seem. Well, I'm sure he would much rather be taking this series. Moving on, improving his seeding and getting more prize money secured. Chronic getting bumped into Lion Blaze goal. That's where he thought he was going to be sending the ball, but he's ended up going there himself. 3-0 to Lion Blaze on the counter. Chronic bringing the ball back down in his own corner. He won't be panicking too much yet, especially when his kickoff has been doing well for him today. That's a very cheeky wave dash attempt by Chronic. Lion Blaze, credit to him. Got it right in his face when he saw the flip reset was going to be landed. He might have to handle another one here. Chronic looking for it late. Oh no, it's just going to be the direct air dribble this time. Lion Blaze not the only one who's going to be changing things up mid-series, keeping his opponent guessing. He was waiting down low there to try and figure out what kind of play it was going to be. Didn't want to dive in early and then get bumped out the way. Seems like an early challenge would have made more sense though. That's actually the only way to stop what Chronic was doing. First goal for Chronic, Lion Blaze. Keeping him pinned back. He has to be careful here. Chronic has quite a scary off-the-wall game from his own half. He's not going too all in for these. Just as I say that, in fact, he dodges on Lion Blaze goal line. So before this, he wasn't going too all in for them. Now I guess he's decided that he's going to do just that. Actually, before this shot, I was impressed with Chronic's recoveries after his wall and ceiling plays, never taking himself out of the game. Not entirely sure why he decided that this was the moment to fly right into Lion Blaze goal. Chronic telegraphing his strategy here. He's informed Lion Blaze that he's going to be sticking to ground plays from now on. And I wonder if that is in fact the case, or just an elaborate mind game. Good finish by Lion Blaze, wide open net after the demo. But he did have to fly a fair bit off the wall to get this one. And he managed it without too many issues. 4-goal gap. Lion Blaze looking good. Besides a couple of very impressive Chronic off-the-wall plays, Lion Blaze has had everything else on lockdown for game number 3. Chronic is certainly struggling to deal with the Lion Blaze flicks. We did have 2 so far this game into relatively open nets. But those nets are open because the flicks are so fast. It's not for Lion Blaze flicking the ball that quickly. It might not be an open net. It might be a defended net by the time the ball arrives. That's the problem that Chronic is currently facing. He needs to defend a little bit deeper, position a little bit further back, just because Lion Blaze has perhaps the best flick in the world when he's on form. 7-1 in game 3. What a crushing scoreline. Chronic in the air though, after saying that he was going to stick to ground plays from now on, puts in his second goal. I'm actually surprised if Chronic really does intend to stick to ground plays. I would love to see more aerials from him. These are so much harder to read. Lion Blaze is having a harder time with them. And there again, Chronic with an aerial play puts a goal in. So was it just mind games from Chronic to say this? Telegraph to your opponent your plan, or your so-called game plan for the rest of the match. In my opinion, he should stick to the aerial plays. He's got them on lockdown. As long as he doesn't lunge in for a crazy dunk after a failed one, he should be just fine. Chronic back within 3 already after being down by 6 just moments ago. Now the ball back in Lion Blaze corner. Chronic is going to race him to it and take to the air once again. It's another mind game and another goal for Chronic. And like I said before, Lion Blaze is struggling to read these. It's hard to know. Is Chronic popping that top shelf? Is he going in for the demo? Is he going underneath you with a dunk? Well, you can't save all 3 of those shots at once. You just got to try and figure out which one it's going to be. Lion Blaze struggling to do that right now. But he's keeping his goal lead intact. Back up to 3 now. A strong kickoff, goal side. He drills himself straight through the ball. Lion Blaze with another kickoff win. Chronic gonna struggle to save flicks from this range. But he doesn't just save the ball, he keeps it under control, and now he can try one of his own. But of course, it's gonna be another aerial play. Slow air dribble by Chronic. Lion Blaze pops it into his corner, and he wants to keep it here. He doesn't want to give Chronic the ball anytime soon. But actually, I say that, and that's exactly what he does. Lion Blaze runs headlong into Chronic, and I don't know what he was expecting there. Well, of course Chronic's going to flip into the ball. Of course he's going to take it off you. Not sure why Lion Blaze decided now was the time for the platinum dribble, but he's gone for it, and it hasn't worked out. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Chronic seals his boost from the back corner. Lion Blaze has absolutely none to play with right now, not even a 12 pad. Luckily for him, he finds a 50-50. That'll give him some time to recover, but he's going to have to defend against another Chronic aerial play. They've not been easy. The flip reset shot goes low. Just like I said before, flip reset shots not working out in playoffs. Lion Blaze sends another fast shot on Chronic's net. Chronic tries to chip it into the post, and he underestimated the power. It looks like he had too much faith in the Dominus hitbox for that one. And he's down by 3. You know, you can say though, Chronic was trying for the counter attack down the middle. If he did chip that ball into the post, you never know. There's always a chance it could have bounced infield and he could have gotten a goal immediately. And with only 20 or so seconds left in the game, it's not a bad play to be making from 2 goals down. But Lion Blaze did enough this game. He's just hung on after establishing a large lead early on. Worryingly though, Chronic seems to have found a reliable way to score.
That's one game to Lion, and maybe the start of something more. I don't know yet though. Since every series so far has been 4-1 in the end, I'm tempted to think Lion is doomed already. Let's see if Game 4 adds to that suspicion.
It's time to find out if Lion Blaze can break the streak of 4-1 series. All he needs is one game to do that. Just like I said at the end of the last game, you'll first have to figure out how on earth to save a Chronic aerial play. So unless Chronic messes it up, it's not going to be easy. 1-0 early on though for Lion Blaze. He forces a low 50-50 through. And in terms of ground game, he does seem to have the edge. Chronic dribbles have not been too effective so far. Luckily for him though, he hasn't had to do too many. Always making beelines for the wall whenever he gets the ball. And always diving into the air. Whether it's a pre-jump or a regular save, you can guarantee he'll be up and about to deflect anything that Lion Blaze tries off target. Chronic has options here. It's going to be a rare ground game to start, but of course, a little element of aerial at the end. Just like last game. His most consistent method of scoring continues to be anything involving him and the ball flying together. 1-1 already. Lion Blaze brings the ball down on the kickoff. That's a brilliant flick and it's past Chronic. It's not a boomer like last game, but it is still more than fast enough to reach its final destination. Impressive flicks for Lion Blaze are not always something that we're used to seeing. Very inconsistent part of his game in the past, especially in high pressure situations. And now in the highest pressure situation, they're showing up, and if he can keep it that way, he is going to have a very difficult ground game for anyone to defend. Lion Blaze is lining up a challenge against Chronic. Chronic not able to get any way through there. The ball was rolling a bit too direct. These flicks from Lion Blaze are just too good. When you give him space to build up this much speed and to lean back from close range and let rip, you're just not getting a save. Chronic getting in front of the ball here, perhaps expecting the ball and the shot to be placed further across the goal. That's the other problem. Trying to defend Lion Blaze dribbles reactively is you're not just battling the incredible speed, but also the last minute placement. That ball could really be going towards any part of the goal, and you only know for about 2 split seconds before it's in your goal. Chronic has Lion Blaze completely out of position here and completely out of boost, and now he puts the shot into the top corner. That's perfect placement. Lion Blaze was circling around looking for any small boost pads he could find, trying to get in a better position. Did not realize how imminent the threat was. 3 minutes left in game number 4. Chronic trying to tie things up. Low 50-50 attempted. Lion Blaze just watches it happen. No need to panic and jump over the top of it. And Chronic lifts Lion Blaze up into the corner just so he can retake control of the possession now. Momentarily tripped up there, not just off the post but also on Lion Blaze card just now. Chronic needs to be careful with these little mispositionings because they can start to scale into something quite awful, and this is the outcome. Lionblaze mind games him on spawn. And I feel like we've seen this goal a few times already this tournament. A respawning player so likely to lunge across the goal. Hard to know just how open that net is. Leaves himself susceptible to the mind game. Chronic infield, looking for the lead again. It's gone high. Boost steal is there for him. Lionblaze right away down the line. Still looking for demos. Even though he doesn't have boost, he knows he has momentum there. And the ball is following him afterwards. A demo would have surely been a goal, but Chronic on the counter makes sure to get a goal. And this is the danger of using all that momentum to throw yourself forward into a position where all the boost is being stolen. Lionblaze had none left. Had to settle for 0 in the recovery. Still ahead by 1. That's a good rebound as well. Lionblaze follows up a rush challenge. A nice finish as well. Chronic says, what did you do? It's working. He's trying to figure out what did Lionblaze change on the kickoff. I'm not sure that Lionblaze is going to tell you the answer to that question, Chronic. But if I was to tell you anything, it would probably involve not hitting the ball too low. And I did notice a few Lionblaze kickoffs going wrong in game 1, thanks to that one dynamic. Chronic. Again, into the air he goes. And again, scores with the bump mid-air. And I've credited Lionblaze being one of the most difficult players to hit with these air dribble bumps. Chronic, I think, so far of everybody, has had the most success with them. 1 minute 41 left in the clock. He's back within 1. Chronic putting on his detective glasses for this deduction. For those of you who are watching in low resolution, his theory is that Lionblaze is probably not going to reveal what he changed in his kickoff. I know, hard to believe, but I think he might be onto something here. Not a bad strategy. Figure out how to beat your opponent in kickoffs. Not telling them what you're doing might be a win condition in my opinion. Lionblaze hanging on to one here. High pop on target. Chronic into the bar. Still in position to follow up, and Lionblaze has to respect him there, but only for so long. So when Chronic lets the ball bounce that high, Lionblaze is more than welcome to move in and take it. Backflip shot beats Chronic to the punch. Now Chronic really does need a big kickoff if he's going to come back here. Lionblaze puts it in his half. Chronic's pre-flip not making contact. Lionblaze just keeping pressure up here. He's not giving Chronic any chance to grab 100 boost and ball control at the same time. The two things that he needs if he's going to come back here. With 46 seconds left in the game, Lionblaze denying Chronic every single boost spawn in and around his goal. 37 seconds left. Chronic finally gets possession. It's a straight flick down the middle, and one which Lionblaze is pretty comfortable saving. Another save as well. Chronic gaining territory here. He's starting to get an effective boost starve going, but is it too late? He needs a goal pretty soon. He doesn't have time to wait for that misplay, which might be half a minute away yet. Onto the crossbar of the flip reset. It's on the goal line. Chronic on the recovery puts it in, and that is exactly what he needed. Didn't go directly in. That same shot which has been letting everybody down all playoff long, but it was past Lionblaze and close enough to the goal line to still be effective. Chronic still trying to tie up the game. He's got one more chance here before overtime. Here's the flip reset. Wave dash, flick into the bar. But Chronic too high with it. I think might have just thrown away a golden ticket. The best opportunity he's going to get. Lionblaze with a demo sends us into game 5, all tied up.
Alright. It is all level after 4 games, and this series is not like all the others. This is good. Lion has done well to come back, and maybe the momentum favors him now. Whoever wins this next game will be on match point.
Lionblaze breaks the streak. He has ended the spree of 4-1 wins. Now can he go one step further? Can he equal the streak of Flakes in the Gauntlet last year? In the Manfield Night 5K. All he needs is one more win to tie the 3 that Flakes was able to put up in that Gauntlet. Perhaps more impressive 3, because what would you rather? Wins in round 1, 2, and 3, or wins in round 3, 4, and 5? This is round 5. Only 2 rounds after this one. Lethamyr and First Killer. The final 2 bosses. 2 that players and viewers alike expected to be waiting. And nobody really knew who the 3rd place was going to go to. And Lionblaze starting to put in a really good argument that it could be him. Is he going to be up in that top 3, fighting for the most money in the tournament every match up until now, adding $100 to your prize money, including, of course, the round 1 prize money for the World Championship. Lionblaze in full control here. Chronic, besides the aerial plays and predominantly aerial bump plays, hasn't had any other way to disrupt Lionblaze's flow. He's getting into that state now where nothing really seems to go wrong. That's a great save by Chronic, and look how quickly he recovers. There's just no way for Lionblaze to move in there and punish him on any bad touch. Because even though the touch was still lurking in the middle of the box, he was right back in position by landing in the goal. Lionblaze messing up an open net conversion there. Chronic getting back and cleaning up the follow-up. Lionblaze around the boost at midfield as well. A couple of misplays creeping in from him. Chronic being let off there. He could have very easily been down by 2 after Lionblaze caught him out of position in the midfield. It should be 1-1 in fact. Now wide open for Chronic, and he's got time, and he makes sure not to miss from close range. We had just moments ago Lionblaze barely beating Chronic to the ball and then missing on an open net conversion. Lionblaze concedes in the same manner. How many times have you seen that save? Chronic into his own crossbar. Always waiting until the last possible moment for pulling the trigger on any of those shots. Chronic accepting a single jump 50-50 here. Not as risky as a dodge counterpart would be. The landing is usually going to be better, and you have a wave dash to help you get it. Chronic really does need a game win here. Starting to get annoyed by the success that Lionblaze is having, and starting to get a bit surprised as well by the success Lionblaze is having. Last game it was a kickoff, so what's he impressed with in this one? Because Lionblaze is doing well. Lionblaze almost scores. Oh, what a save by Chronic. He's just landed on this one after it refused to get off his goal line after the first touch. Now Chronic is just parking the bus in front of the ball at the near post. No way through, at least not yet. Now he's got 100 boost to his name as well. That surely looked like a goal from Lionblaze POV as well. He thought he'd done enough with the power, but Chronic, with 2 touches, stops it on the goal line. Now he's coming down the other end. It's a minute and 43 left. We've only seen 2 goals so far in game number 5. The game that will separate the tie. Lionblaze, a simple pop on target. It's off the post and just across the goal. It's early for the boost steal. That means Chronic can go back and get it. Lionblaze still in a good position here. With how good his flicks have looked in this game, he shouldn't need too much of an angle as he approaches his flicks in offense. That's a nice catch and a backflip from Lionblaze to put the ball across the line. And it was a bit too casual by Chronic. He got the bump, but then he just stayed still on the goal line, waiting to see what Lionblaze would do. It looks like he expected more of an impact when Chronic landed on Lionblaze there. He thought he would be bumping him into the wall. Lionblaze is refusing to be tripped up. He stayed with it, kept on going. Chronic beats him to the ball in the midfield. It's wide open, but a very tight angle. He tries to go for it, but he's hit the bar. Chronic had the shot right there. He was looking at it. The goal was open. least the top corner was open. That's all you really need at this level. You don't need an entire goal. Just parts of it will do. Lion Blaze, as usual, so good at sneaking in those demos. You think he's going for a 50-50, but he's trying to kill you. And now he's 2 goals up. Chronic feels like he's throwing the series. Thinks that he's inside his own head now. If I'm honest with you, I think the commentary might be doing him more damage than good. One way to get inside your own head is to start to vocalize things like, I think I'm inside my own head. Great save by Lion Blaze. Chronic trying everything at the end of the game here. Throwing his best shot at Lion to see if it'll go in. And not even that works. Lion Blaze, 3 game wins in a row. 1 more, and he'll be into the top 3. He'll be into the Gauntlet semi-final against Lethamer. Can he get it? Let's find out.
It's Lion who takes the lead, and finds himself on match point. A low-scoring game takes him there, with some good demo plays. Chronic is looking very frustrated. He did think he lost the whole series there too, and tried to leave.
So firstly, good news for Chronic. He hasn't lost the series like he thought he had. The bad news is, he is down 3-2. He's going to try and change that one around with a card change. I just want to clarify, he was informed, like all of the other players, that all Gauntlet playoff matches would be best of 7, but it's easy to forget these small details in the heat of the moment. It's easy to forget those things when you think you're being reverse swept on a 2-game lead. Now, at least it's not a full reverse sweep. You can't get reverse swept if you lose game 3 in a best of 7. The Chronic needs to try and get 2 wins in a row here, or he will still be eliminated from playoffs, and he'll go into the Salt Mine World Finals as an NA first seed, meaning he'll play against the EU first, or NA 4th seed, I should say, which will put him against the EU first seed in his first round. Chronic ties this up here with another air dribble. Decides to play the ball into the sidewall here, and I'm not sure about that because that's exactly where Lion Blaze is waiting for him. And you can see here just why that strategy is a bit too cheeky. It's like one of those back corner passes. You feel like you're going to pass the ball to yourself. You think you're being so clever and nobody's going to see it coming. But the other player doesn't have to invest any time or positioning to completely ruin your day right there. Chronic learning the hard way. It's probably not the best idea to try his luck in that position. Lion Blaze lobs another shot on target. He's got Chronic pinned back here. Already a 2-1 lead secure, and that is a beautiful flick. A player who's so known for his power from the ground. Perfectly places a little cheeky lob from the near post. And that was the goal to put him 2 ahead. He's hit his run of form at the ideal time this series. And I do want to mention one thing that Chronic mentioned earlier, and that is that Lion Blaze changed up his kickoff mid-series here. You know, he was struggling earlier on in the tournament, like we've talked about before, to win kickoffs. And now, he's not just finding ways to improve his kickoff between series, he's also improving it during the series itself. That's very impressive. On-the-fly adjustments. Something that's always associated with the best ones players. So far, I'd say, in the North American Salt Mine, Lethamer's impressed me most with those. Lion Blaze perhaps trying to play a mini Lethamer playstyle here. A different type of Lethamer. Not quite as dominating, but still just as constant. He's always there. He's always coming at you. And although the finishing touch is often different, the route to get there looks quite similar. Flip reset on target for Chronic, and in. And he's making them count. That was a great landing on the ball. Gave him plenty time to pull the trigger. He didn't have to rush that shot. Lion Blaze, like Chronic is saying here, didn't know what was coming, but it didn't matter when the shot's that good. Knowledge is not everything. need a bit of luck as well. That's Chronic's game plan here. He has to try and make shots happen that are going to work, even if Lion Blaze does read them. But look at that from Lion Blaze, flying back down into a dunk on top of Chronic, who looked like he was clean through. He's playing some great defense here. Never seen anybody land on a ball 3 times successfully in a row. Well, that's what Lion Blaze is doing. Now Chronic gives him a taste of his own medicine. That's not a bad flick. 108 kilometers an hour. Huge power by Chronic, and Lion Blaze, who is sometimes criticized for shadowing too close, is going to need to back off a bit more whenever Chronic's ball carrying. Block kickoff for Chronic. Lion Blaze had more boost. He was able to recover. And now he's got position on Chronic. Although Chronic has the boost advantage here, Lion Blaze has the real advantage because he can play the ball. Chronic can't without turning around. Lion Blaze is not going to let Chronic turn around in that position. Not without taking him out of the game. Lion Blaze trying to turn here while moving the ball to keep Chronic guessing. Now he'll take it back into his own half. Trying to start again from here. He's got a lot of space to work with, a lot of space to flick into. That's another advantage of dribbling the ball all the way back into your own half, is if you do shoot, it's almost certain that the back corner boost to the other end of the field will be available for stealing. Compare that to the constant pressure plays. Sometimes you'll lose all your pressure with one mistimed boost steal. Now Chronic with a demo, ahead by 1. Lion Blaze really should have seen that one coming. I'm surprised not to see him jump in the corner. But Chronic will be glad not to see him jump in the corner. He's trying to get us into a game 7. The series already gone the farthest out of any in the playoffs so far. Lion Blaze would just love for it to end here. 6 games, more than enough, I'm sure, for him. Well, he is just happy to be here at this point after such a horrendous start to league play. Top 4, a great result for him. Chronic's placement, too good. And he's ahead by 2 goals. Chased Lion Blaze into the goal, looped around, and all he needed was that deft touch, get it under the bar, but barely. 54 seconds for Lion Blaze. Can he get the ball under control? It's going to be a kickoff goal. That's just going in. Chronic with the easiest one of the day. After Lion Blaze is being complimented for his kickoff earlier, it looks like he's done the same mistake as before. He's just too low on the ball. Let's see if he tries to correct it here. Getting his nose of the car up a bit higher. Quick turnaround by Lion Blaze after the boost, but Chronic has already gone to play the ball, and that's a perfect shot. Lion Blaze thought it was going off the post. But Chronic's placement is too good. It's so smart by Chronic there. He makes it look like he's looking to go for the boost. He stays side by side with Lion Blaze until Lion Blaze commits for the boost. And as soon as Lion Blaze turns around, that's when Chronic goes for the shot. Not a moment sooner, or else it would send alarm bells to Lion Blaze and he'd be dodging back to his net to save it. 3-goal game after a Lion Blaze kickoff goal. Chronic just needs to waste time here and he'll have the win. But another kickoff goal for him is not going to hurt. We look like we are going to game 7. The series set to go the distance. Still possible. The Lion Blaze can go from 6th place in the league all the way, or rather 5th place in the league, sorry, all the way into 3rd place in the Gauntlet. He's really climbing up there, but Chronic is making life extremely difficult for him at the moment. 5-goal game. It looks like the car change to the Fennec was a pretty good idea. It's now completely impossible for Forky to come back from. Forky's our Lion Blaze to come back from. And credit to Chronic, he's made the minor adjustments necessary to get this win, one which he needed. And after thinking he'd already lost the series, he sends us into game 7.
Chronic wins game 6 to draw level, even though he looked very frustrated at himself in general. Maybe he was harnessing that power to play better. Regardless, he is taking the full minute between games to calm down. I'll represent it with a 1-second black screen.
Game 7. Lionblaze versus Chronic. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna get top 3? Lionblaze starting off with a read on Chronic's fake kickoff, but he's not able to take control of the ball immediately afterwards. It's a brilliant save though. Chronic had a good angle for the dunk. Lionblaze on the counter does a fake flick into 360 spin and then hits him with a ground shot, just nicking it past him there. Nice shot, saves Chronic, and he's not wrong. Big plays from Lionblaze, just showing everybody that he can compete at the top level. The player who was always letting himself down, letting everyone down, losing series to players ranked lower than him. But now, that seems to have changed. He's giving everybody a good game. Surely, Lethemir and Farskiller, who are waiting ahead of him in the bracket here, not looking forward to playing against this particular version of Lionblaze, which is showing up. Same could be said of Chronic though, both playing very well. That's why we're in game 7. Chronic gives Lionblaze a flick to think about at the near post. Fake challenge from Lionblaze does nothing there. Chronic has been abusing Lionblaze's passivity at times. Does have an affinity for backing off. Just sitting at his near post, hoping to catch a misplay. Get the easy counter attack going. Perfect jump by Chronic. Lionblaze with actually unreal positioning lands on the ball, and that has prevented Chronic from scoring what would have been an open net. 1-1. Incredibly tight so far in game 7. The ball's kicked off the ceiling here, but Chronic's handling it without too many issues. Lionblaze shadowing close, but not too close, because for once Chronic's flick isn't fast enough. His shot is though. And now he's ahead by 1. You wonder, should Lionblaze be backing off just ever so slightly there? By shadowing as close as he is, makes it quite difficult to get a good save on the ball, because he has to intercept it so far away from his goal. Big dunk from Lionblaze, a little 3-point turn, and now away he goes. He's got the distance covered, and that will tie up the game. Already more goals flying in than we had in game 6. Both players feeling the pressure. They want so badly to lock in top 3. Want so badly to have a crack at Lethemir, who's waiting in the next round. But Lionblaze oversteps the mark. He's gone too far into the goal. And Chronic puts it past him. It's good placement here. I think even if Lionblaze does get a save on that ball, it's likely that Chronic can continue attacking. Whereas, shoot to the top right of the goal, you're probably not going to be attacking. That's the kind of angle that Lionblaze can make a save from and then use for a counter attack. Lionblaze keeps Chronic in his sight. Takes too long with the flick though. Boost steal comes in. Nevertheless, 3 minutes into the game. 3 minutes remaining in the game, I should say. Lionblaze looking for a way through at the near post. Chronic looks like he's run out of boosts here. Not moving in for a challenge. Lionblaze places his shot a fair bit wide. That was a good opportunity missed by Lionblaze. Chronic gives him one at the other end of the field. Lionblaze making sure of this save. Didn't want to leave it close like last time. Picks up a fortunate demo in the exchange and gets a goal right down the middle as a result. Chronic is going to be mad about that one, because that may as well have been a 50-50. But you have to be careful when you're the player running away from your opponent, when you turn your back to them. Those demos are going to happen. Chronic just has to know that that's a possibility. Early challenge by Lionblaze. Doesn't want to get sent back into his corner like he was earlier. Trying to keep the pressure up, but Chronic is not falling for any of these early plays from Lionblaze. Every flick that Lionblaze attempts just gets sent back at him with some more power, and Chronic just advanced slowly but surely towards the goal. Every pop getting closer, and Lionblaze just didn't give him enough respect from that angle. He gave him way too much time on the ball, and now he's given him a 1-goal lead. Chronic going to get a big win here. That's bouncing in field. Lion Blaze didn't see it coming, and that's just going to be a 2-goal lead for Chronic. Huge kickoff for him. It comes down off the ceiling, rolls in field, and Lion Blaze was going for the boost instead of the goal. He just didn't see where the ball was bouncing. Of course, may have turned off ball cam briefly to avoid missing a back corner boost, but he'll wish he left it on because now he's in a world of trouble. Chronic is starting to run away with this. 3 goals up. Impeccable shooting by Chronic. This full volley to catch Lion Blaze off guard, and the crossbar down. Actually a better result than going directly on target, where Lion Blaze is more likely to make a touch. Chronic straight through the middle of the next kickoff. Of course, he puts another one in. And Lion Blaze starting to crumble here. He tried to really think hard about that kickoff, but it looked so rigid. There was no fluidity to his movement there. Chronic, meanwhile, smooth as you like. He's just sneaking in from behind. Thought he'd lost the series, and then he starts to come back. It's not over yet though. 3 goals in it and a long time to go. Lion Blaze trying to make another mid-series adaptation to his kickoff. Try and change his fortunes in this series. Just 4 boost for Lion Blaze. Chronic not going to leave the ball here unless he absolutely has to. Happy to just dribble it around in defense. So full knowledge that this is a 1 game. Smart by Chronic. As soon as Forky makes any indication that he wants to challenge, as soon as Forky moves forward and starts to posture next to the ball, that's when Chronic has made a play on it. Lion Blaze struggling to get any openings. Just a minute now left in the game. He's been taken out of it, and Chronic puts in another open net. 4-goal lead. Lion Blaze just runs too high, too dangerously close to Chronic, and he pays the ultimate price. 58 seconds left. Is this the end of the Lion Blaze run? It's only just gotten started, and soon it's going to be over. Chronic, of course, still has the hope, the dream of winning 3 games in a row himself, and by doing so, winning the entire tournament. Lion Blaze trying everything in his power to stop that from happening. 42 seconds left. That's a brilliant shot on the turn. He knew he had to turn for this one. There's no way he can win this game if he gives Chronic hard clears, if he gives Chronic the time to pop the ball into the air. That'll be goodbye to 25 seconds of the match, at least. And goodbye to your chances. Lion Blaze deciding to go all in here. Just any bump will do, he's thinking. Desperate times call for desperate measures. They also call for careful play, because that was careless. Lion Blaze gets caught out in front of Chronic again. And now with 15 seconds left, his chances are completely disappearing. Chronic has done it. I think as soon as he discovered that he hadn't been reverse swept, a huge sigh of relief was let out. All of the pressure was taken off his shoulders, and that's what allowed him to play at this level. Switches the car, switches his fortunes, and he advances to the semi-finals.
Lion Blaze didn't have the energy to sustain a full 7-game series, especially as his 3rd series in a row in the Gauntlet. Well done to Chronic, who takes the final game and the win, even if he still looked a little salty in the process. Lion exits the NA mine with another $150, but we are not saying bye to him just yet. We will see him again at Worlds, as NI's 4th seed. Chronic makes it through a hard-fought best of 7 to reach the semi-final, and will play again in the next NA series. Thank you again to Zydax and Intel for sponsoring the NA Salt Mine. Get your own customized and affordable PC from Zydax with 5% off by using the offer code JOHNNYBOY. I have an unexpected surprise announcement to make. Tomorrow we will be making a brief visit to the EU salt mine. Due to scheduling trouble, the NA salt production has been postponed but will resume and complete as soon as possible. So consider this to be the advert for the EU salt mine operations. I'll see you there. Thank you for watching. This is the NA Salt Mine. I am your host and friend, Brian.